Good morning, Mountains. We are live here on the Startup Morning Show here on the D&D Sports Network. JJ Pruitt, Darryl McCoy, and Bradley Dameron. How you guys doing?
Doing good, man. How you all doing today?
I'm terrific. I mean, anytime I can get up every day and do a startup morning show with my favorite crew, life is always good for me.
Bradley Dameron from the main streets of Marbone Creek. As we're sitting here, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, we're watching live protest right now in Israel. It's a mess going on there. We'll talk about it here after we get started. But JJ, today, August the 21st, this day in history, what you got?
We're going to start off with the year 1942. Now, in 1942, one of my favorite films was first released in theaters, the film Bambi. And it became a classic in the Disney, world of Disney, noted for its lush, hand-drawn animation and sensitive, effective narrative. Now, my fondest memory of Bambi when I was a kid was obviously the part when Bambi lost, their parent. Like, that part was very traumatizing for me.
Well, the thing that confuses me is that it was made in 1942. But I remember going to the movies and seeing this as a child.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. Like, if it was created in 1942, how did I watch it at the movies in the late 80s?
It's interesting to me. It's like, was it re-release? I mean, is that what they're saying, that it was? They're not wording it that way?
Disney used to re-release a lot of animated movies to give families like a child-friendly option at the theaters and stuff.
Yeah, that was probably it then.
So now they just make new movies all the time.
Yeah. Well, that would probably be what happened there then. But the JJ and a lot of kids is always traumatized in that movie. But it was definitely, I highly recommend it.
Absolutely. And secondly, we're going to go with the year 1959, where Hawaii became the 50th U.S. state. Now, that kind of surprises me that it was, in the 50s. I figured it would have been, a little bit earlier than that.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I figured it would have been 1800s or something like that. I didn't know that.
1959, was that in Hawaii? It was, trying to think, was it a territory then?
It was a territory before.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I got another interesting one. The year was 1987. And let's see if you can remember this 80s classic. The romantic drama Dirty Dancing, starring Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey, was released on this day. And it became a huge hit at the box office.
One of my favorite movies of all time. And not only favorite movies, it may be my favorite soundtrack.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good film. I know that whenever we were talking before the show, I got it mixed up with Footloose. Yeah.
No. This right here, Dirty Dancing, way better than Footloose. Footloose was a great movie. Great. I love it too. But Dirty Dancing, it goes up there with the best of the best.
Yeah, the 80s, they had a lot of good movies back then. And then I got one more for you. The year was 2017. And for the first time in nearly 40 years, the continental United States experienced a total solar lunar eclipse, which was viewed from Oregon all the way to South Carolina.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's, that must have been during that time where they was making us get the eclipse glasses and stuff.
No, matter of fact, that was just this recent year when they done all that. But that right there, I do remember that because the epicenter of it was in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. And they said that traffic got backed up a traffic jam for 8 hours coming from that. Yeah, like everybody rushed to just these big farm fields and watched it. And then they was one of the biggest traffic jams ever in the state of Kentucky.
Oh, wow.
Leaving it.
I bet that would have been a good sight to see.
Well, I got one for you here too, JJ.
You always come through in the clutch with one yourself. So what did you find out?
In 1911, Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa, JJ, it was stolen from the Louvre in Paris by 3 Italian handyman.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the one of the biggest heists in history, one of the biggest art heists, happened in 1911 with the Mona Lisa.
Now, I actually remember reading about this because, like you always know my wealth of knowledge. So, one of my ways of obtaining knowledge is just looking up random stuff on Wikipedia. And, when it comes to the Mona Lisa, I mean, I know that painting is actually worth about $800 million today. Yeah.
Nah, I'll tell you what, I'd sure like to counterfeit it and find somebody to buy it.
There you go.
Well, I'm sure they tightened security up around the Louvre after that.
Yeah, I guess they did. So as we moving on here, JJ, celebrity birthdays.
Oh, we got a couple of celebrity birthdays. Are you ready for this?
Let's hear it.
All right. So the first person we're going to go with is Khalees. I don't know if you remember the singer that sung the song Milkshake.
My milkshake.
Yeah. It's her birthday. We've got Jim McMahon.
Okay.
From the the 85 Chicago Bears. We've got Kenny Rogers.
Yep.
We've got
the gambler.
Yeah, we've got Wilt Chamberlain.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, arguably the best athlete in American history. I still think that he's the best. I mean, anytime you can find somebody that's 7'1" that can run a 100-meter dash in 10.4 seconds and has a 40-inch vertical and can bench 500 pounds, it's a ridiculous athlete.
It is.
I think he was the peak of, evolution. But we got one last one, Usain Bolt.
Usain Bolt.
Yes, right, his birthday's today as well.
This is a good birthday day, man.
Absolutely, that's a heck of a birthday list.
Oh, well, that's a heck of a birthday. Wilt Chamberlain, Usain Bolt, and
got the gamblers.
Yeah, the gambler, Kenny Rogers, Jim McMahon. Dang.
Yeah, that might be one of the best days we've had so far.
Well, let's go over here to my Facebook, see if there's anybody that I really care about. The Jackson Coger, former Logan quarterback. We talked to his brother, Coach Coger, the other day. Let's see. Mason Prater, the brother of Danielle Prater, former Phelps sharpshooter. Looks like that's about all that I really care to mention. The slow day on the Facebook. So
happy birthday to the two individuals that we did shout out.
Yeah, there we go. I'll make up for that. This weekend, I want to give a big shout out to Peyton Davis. It was his birthday this weekend, so I'm going to give him a big shout out. Peyton Davis was up bright and early this morning, 5 a.m. workout at Martin County, putting in the work. Tell you, this kid right here, he's gearing up for a huge senior year. Anytime a kid gets up at 5 a.m. and hits the gym, he's got the drive.
And this is before class, too.
Oh, yeah. They'll go work out 5 to 6 a.m. and then about 7 they'll take a shower at school and then they'll get to class.
Oh yeah, that's
I miss them days.
A straight up sniper.
Yep. JJ or Bradley, have you seen what's going on in Israel this morning?
I've not seen anything yet. I've heard a little bit about it. I haven't been able to turn on my TV to check things out.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you more about it when we come back from commercial break. We'll be right back here on the D&D Sports Network Morning Startup Show. Award-winning tire shop that focuses on customer service that's family-owned and family-operated. Stop by and see our friends Jeremy and Chasta at Punk's Tires. If you have a hectic work schedule and you're looking for a non-stressful, convenient way to buy tires, take advantage of Punk's Tires Appointment Saturdays. If they don't have the tire you're looking for, they guarantee it to have it the next day. Punk's Tires can take care of all your needs in tires, wheels, wheel alignments, brakes, rotors, minor mechanic work, and more. They'll treat you like family from the second you walk through the door. Come see us in Virgie, Kentucky, or give us a call at 606-639-TIRE. That's 606-639-TIRE.
Central America, head to Sal's Steakhouse. Sizzle your senses with mouthwatering steaks, juicy burgers, savory chicken, and fall-off-the-bone ribs. Sal's Steakhouse, where your taste buds will thank you. Unleash the flavor at Sal's. Taste tradition, taste the difference.
And we are back here on the morning startup show. JJ Pruitt, Darryl McCoy, and Bradley Dameron from the mean streets of Marbone Creek. Here we go, guys. As we're sitting here, a lot of comments coming in. As we'll throw them up here, we got Dylan Story says, when will crunch time get started since it's football Friday night? Well, we normally start crunch time the Thursday after week 0 in Kentucky, because in Kentucky, you got that first week there where West Virginia ain't kicking. So we normally start going into week 2 of Kentucky, week 1 of West Virginia. So we'll start not this Thursday, but next Thursday. So, and then Cross Taylor says, good morning, guys. Good morning, Cross. Cross out repo and buildings for Southside Buildings and Carports for all your carport needs. Make sure your buildings and carports, make sure you go to Southside Buildings and Carports located in Louisa, Belfry, and Chapmanville.
The best carport man in the business.
Not even close.
Hands down.
Yeah, he's not a shabby basketball player either.
Oh, he's a hooper?
Yeah. He led the Mountains in charges a few years back there.
Oh, wow. So he's not afraid to do the dirty work.
No. Darren Brewer says, good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Darren. Coming out of Powell County there. Good to see you on. Hope Connor's doing well. The father of Connor Morgeson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, guys, as we're getting started, Bradley, I promised the tease here. Right now in Israel, some bad stuff going on. We got ultra-Orthodox Jews are protesting the military draft. And the way that the Jerusalem and Israel police, I cannot take my eyes off it, because like it's happening live right now. You can watch it. They're going in and out on Fox News. But, I mean, you're seeing 8-year-old kids beaten and dragged. I caught a clip of it here. Check. This is just a little part of what was going on a while ago. I mean, tough situation there, you know, as you're sitting there watching that, you know, the thing that got me is there was a 8-year-old boy that was there that got struck in the face with a baton and multiple times. And, you know, I know nothing about this is funny, but, you know, one of the things, you know, them guys that's got the curls, the Jewish people, they'll throw them off. And then whenever the police turn their head to go get another one, the people they throw off will go jump back into the pile. And so they're really not getting anywhere with them. But, you know, they're protesting, you know, that they're saying that they would rather go to seminary school, you know, and that the Israel military is, I guess, engaging on their religious freedoms, you know, and saying that, you know, because of their religious freedoms, they should be able to choose to bypass that draft. And I guess they're passing a law that says that they're going to have to go to the draft. So tough situation there, you know. And I know here in America, you know, I did not know it till the other day, but somebody told me that the draft is actually in action right now in America.
I've seen something where they were either passing a bill or in the process of trying to pass a bill where everybody that's under the age of 26 or 26 or under or something like that has to register.
I'm glad I'm old and fat.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm just old.
I mean, we came from a. I mean, I thought that was still a thing. You had to register for selected service. I did when I was young.
Yeah. When you're 18 and you register to vote, you normally, I had to too. I had to sign that paper, for, in case there was a draft.
Yeah. Like the draft never went away in the U.S. It's just that they don't want to have to resort to it unless they really want, unless they really need it.
Well, we got Jimmy Johnson says, "I'm glad to see the crew back together. You turned JJ back into a human form from a sleeping doggo, and looks like Bradley made it back from the waiver wire and cleared the waivers."
I went to the practice squad for a day, and I worked my way back into the starting lineup.
Yeah, he went to the practice squad, dropped 50, and then came back.
Well, I'm glad I'm the starting QB here, so my job ain't in danger.
You're good to go.
So as we're getting started, guys, here, we talked a little bit about that. Also, here was a story that caught my eye. A lot of talk going on right now about transgender restrooms in schools. Well, Fayette County School Superintendent is under fire right now for the design of this bathroom. It's basically that right there. As you can see the hallway, you can see all into the bathroom, and they're saying that Demetrius Liggins, the superintendent of Fayette County Schools, is trying to bypass the Senate Bill 150 and make bathrooms more friendly for transgenders. And the superintendent's basically saying that ain't what he's trying to do. He's trying to make bathrooms safer, and said that whenever you go into, studying that bullying and a lot of bad stuff happen in bathrooms. And he said Fayette County Schools, thanks to a TikTok trend 2 years ago, lost $42,000 for vandalism in the bathroom. So this cuts all that out. People can see into the bathroom there. You can have your sink, and you can go into your own private style. I don't know where I stand on it. I know I don't like anything, to do that supporting transgenders at that age, because this is a middle school. And, when you take and you're teaching kids that from an early age, you're just teaching kids the wrong way. But I tend to go against this superintendent because I think when you're in the bathroom, you need some sort of privacy.
Absolutely. I mean, it's interesting, the design. I mean, it's like,
and they talk about the bullying. Well, guess what? You think a kid ain't gonna get bullied when kids are standing here in the hallway and he opens the door and the stench knocks them down, that they ain't going to sit there and bully that little girl. Oh, little Sarah went and took a dookie.
She blew up the bathroom.
I mean, I could see a lot more bullying coming from this than normal.
That's it, because I never thought. I was like, okay, at first when I'm looking at it, I'm like, what? It just looks like 4 individual little tiny bathrooms. Maybe if they put a sink inside of each individual one, it wouldn't be so bad. But I mean, even still, like, I'm like you, there needs to be a little bit of privacy.
Yeah, I'm dead against this. What's your thoughts, Bradley?
I'm kind of like JJ. If they put the sinks inside the individual stalls, that's one thing. I think you could do that. But putting it out there in the open like that, I don't know. But I mean, I like the idea that they have their own individual stalls and they can close the doors. But then you come out, you still got to wash your hands. Well, sometimes going to the bathroom can be a messy process.
Yeah.
You don't want to walk out. I mean, seriously, that's not going to help bullying if they come out and someone has to really clean their hands because, oops, uh-oh.
Especially at middle school ages, and, so I find this, like, I don't know what's any different. I'm sitting here thinking too, like devil's advocate. I don't know what's any different from, just walking down the hallway and there being a door that goes to a bathroom.
It looks like a gas station like 4 little gas station bathrooms is what I'm looking at.
It does.
But I don't know, like, how if you're walking in a doctor's office, how you're walking down the hallway and there's a bathroom right there, just one single bathroom. I don't know what really is the difference between that and this, but they're saying he's trying to bypass the Senate Bill 150, where Kentucky chose to segregate, and keep boys and girls bathrooms segregated instead of, attend to the transgender community and saying that, they should be able to allow use whatever they identify with bathroom. They're saying that's what this superintendent's trying to do, is bypass that bill. But, I didn't think that when I first seen it. I don't think that's what his intentions were. But, at the end of the day, I just say leave things the way they were, and, at the end of the day, some of the kids' best memories in high school was going to the bathroom smoking a stogie. So, now kids can't do that either, Bradley. So,
I mean, these days the kids have the vapes.
Yeah.
The electronic cigarettes.
Yeah.
I do kind of like the idea of it looks very private. Like each individual one looks much more private than a regular bathroom. If you could just do something about the sinks, that doesn't make any sense.
I agree, JJ. That's my biggest problem with it too, is that you leave that one part very private, but the other part is not only not super private, it's very public.
I don't like it either. Like my thing is still, what if, how little boys are in middle school, a little girl goes to the bathroom and she walks out and she blows the bathroom up.
Yeah.
Then, all of a sudden that girl's going to get made fun of the rest of the day. So, I say keep bathrooms private. We don't need this.
Keep some Febreze in each one of them stalls too.
So as we're sitting here, we got a lot of comments coming in. Carl Whitey Little says Jimmy Johnson, that's going to be a good game to watch. They're talking about Pikeville and Belfry junior football game tonight. Well, I tell you what, I'm not one to normally pick Pikeville in much. But I think Pikeville right now has had Belfry's number, and until Belfry knocks them off, I'm gonna continue to pick Pikeville. As much as it kills me to do it. Now I tell you, whenever they play in a couple of weeks, I don't know who I'm gonna pick in that one though. I know Pikeville's on a 5-year slide here where they have dominated Belfry, but this Belfry team, if they're got a chance of getting Pikeville, it's going to be this year.
It is still mind blowing to me because like everybody knows, I haven't really kept up with local sports. And whenever I was in high school, we dominated Pikeville, every single year. I mean, we never got, it was always a 30, 35 point blowout. And now just knowing that, my former school has got beat 5 years in a row, it's just, I just can't, my brain can't process that.
Jimmy Johnson says it looks like a concession stand installed toilets with doors. Agree. Agree 100%. Said terrible idea. Cross Taylor says Jimmy Johnson says nobody's going to want to order what's going to be served up in there. Yeah. I agree with that, Jimmy. But just moving on from this subject, last thing I'll say is, at the end of the day, if it is to tend to transgenders, what are we teaching our kids at this age? I mean, that's the thing that really aggravates me.
We're just living in a different time. I'm really glad that I'm not a kid in this era.
Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we got some highlights of a young hooper that has been tearing it up this summer. And then we also have another controversial topic that we want to get your guys' opinion on. Guys, we want to remind everybody here, make sure if you would like to call the Double Quick hotline, give us a call at 606-230-8911. Get you a pen and paper, 606-230-8911. If you have, if you got any questions, comments, or you want to us to talk about a certain topic, give us a call on the Double Quick hotline. Guys, we look forward to hearing from you, but we'll be right back here after a quick word from our sponsors. You're watching the Startup Morning Show.
Are now available at Kentucky Mountain Health Alliance Little Flower Dental Clinic. Same day crowns. No more temporary impressions and wearing temporary crowns. Same day crowns. Now available at Little Flower Dental Clinic. We also offer cleanings, fillings, extractions, root canals, and bridges. Call for an appointment today at 487-9505. We accept most major insurances, Medicare and Medicaid, and even a sliding fee scale. Little Flower Clinic, your medical home in the mountains.
Pass, bring them to Hall & Jones Funeral Home in Burgee, Kentucky. We let you grieve in peace instead of worrying about a heavy financial burden of burying a loved one. Here at Hall & Jones, we have multiple chapels that can accommodate any size family. We look forward to helping you and your family here at Hall & Jones. We're back here on the Startup Morning Show. JJ Pruitt, Darryl McCoy, and Bradley Dameron. And JJ rocking the throwback windbreaker here, Bradley.
Hey, it's comfortable. Yeah. It's efficient. I mean, you know,
I've always told people about how frugal JJ is when it comes to his money. The other day, I got a phone call and JJ was excited to death. He said, I was coming out of Mud Creek there. He said, and there's this 3 old ladies having a yard sale. He said, and I got this cool jacket. This is what he came up with.
Hold on for a second. I got this at Aeropostale, but however,
you did not get that at Aeropostale.
This got the Aeropostale logo on it, but however,
when in '83,
it was in the clearance section for like $12, but I got it like a month ago.
No,
I swear I did.
No,
that's why I got. I was like, you know what? I haven't seen a windbreaker in forever.
No.
And when I went to Cincinnati Reds game a little over a month ago, it was very windy and it was raining. I was like, you know what? This would be perfect for this. And yes, paid $12 for it, 70% off.
Daniel Williams says, I live in Richmond, Kentucky, and they have a transgender in the Berea College as a teacher. And my boy and little girl go to school in Berea, Madison Southern, and they are they put cat litter boxes in the bathroom down there. Now, I did hear about this, but I didn't know what school it was. Kids, they got this trend where kids are identifying as cats, and like they'll go to school with cat ears, and like if you talk to them, they'll go meow. And I haven't heard any proof or seen any proof of it, but this is interesting that Daniel Williams says that, because I've heard this story a lot this summer that a lot of schools are starting to do that
and put cat so people can use the That's the.
I mean,
I'm so glad I'm not in high school in this time period, or middle school or elementary school. Like I couldn't imagine being a kid in this day and age.
I want to go back to the old days when you got kids dressing up as cats. We used to put them in trash cans and roll them down the steps. That's what I want to go back to.
I mean, come on now.
Like that cuts out a lot of this stuff.
It's like we live in a time where there's like 80 or 90 different things that people can identify as now. It's like every other day they're coming up with a new one.
Listen, I'm 100% against bullying, but then sometimes I'm thinking, like, how much did them bullies actually save us, from going through stuff like this?
Yeah, I'm just going to start identifying as like a Asian or Mexican or something, like, because you know what, the funny thing to me is like whenever you debate with a person that identifies as a different gender or something like that, and you ask them, well, can I identify as this race? They're like, no, you can't do that. And I'm like,
listen, Jacob Ruford, he said the same exact thing. He said, I know this isn't politically correct, but there's some things bullying is good for.
Yeah. I mean, this might be one of them.
It's crazy the stuff that's going on in today's world. And the bad part about it is these school boards are catering to this kind of action. These kids are there to learn. That's what's wrong with America today. The kids are there from 8 till 3. While your kids are there, guess what? Put them in a classroom, teach them just like you did in the old days. Teach them, from 8 to 3. Don't sit there and cater to all this junk going on. Don't, go out your way to, cater to, kids doing this. We made it decades, hundreds of years. We've made it fine. Don't change this stuff just to cater to. And I hate that word because, you always hear Republicans say woke. I just think that, at the end of the day, too much stuff is going on, and we're going to get too far out of the way where we can't go back to where we need to be if we keep catering to junk like this.
So what's interesting to me, Darryl, is like when I was a kid, the people that was older than me would always say, this generation is like, this time that we're living in is so bad. And, I used to say, you guys are old and bitter. But now that I'm 35 years old and you're transitioning into your 40s, we're saying the exact same thing. But I genuinely believe that things are continuing to get worse. I mean, it's just like, I look back at the 2000s and the 90s and the time period that I lived in, and it was just so much simpler back then. It's just like it just continues. I mean, there are some things that are a little bit better, but not many. There's not many things that are that much better.
I literally about spit my pop out reading Cross Taylor's comment. Said I would be a bully if I seen someone using a litter box.
Yeah, yeah, it'd be.
Go ahead, Bradley. I can tell you got something on your mind.
Look, I mean, the litter box thing is a bit much, but a lot of the stuff, man, if someone's not infringing on my rights and isn't doing anything to me directly, I don't care. I know that sounds really weird, but I just don't. If someone's not infringing on my rights or anything, and that we can debate that what is and isn't all day, but I don't care. If you want to identify as a cat, now the litter box thing, I don't want you to have a litter box in my bathroom. But go whatever, lick your paws, do whatever you want to do.
I'm just saying that's nothing but causing a diversion from what teachers are there to do. And if kid's dressed up as a cat, guess what? Them other 5 kids sitting around him can't learn.
Well, if they're dressed up, that's one. I mean, but. I mean, as long as they're not on the floor crawling around and stuff, but I mean, I don't know, man.
Here's the other thing. Then not only that, then you are going to have these kids that's going to bully these kids, and then they're going to get in trouble for it. So it just creates an entire.
If they're bullying, they should get in trouble for it.
The kid shouldn't get in trouble for coming to school dressed. I mean, you can't wear a Budweiser hat, but you can wear cat ears, cat tail, and use a damn litter box.
I didn't say use a litter box, but now if they, but Darryl, if you want to create a dress code and say don't do that, that's one thing. You create dress codes. I believe in dress codes. I believe in all this and that. But if something's not against the dress code, and it's not really infringing on other people's. I mean, you got to hold people accountable for their own actions too. And if someone sees that and they go like, I'm going to bully that person, you got to hold the bully responsible. There's no other way around it. I don't see any other choice there.
Sometimes you bring it on yourself, Bradley.
I mean, I'm not for bullying, but at the end of the day, like I'm like Darryl, it's like you're pretty much asking.
Yeah, I'm 100% against bullying.
Yeah, because I got messed with when I was a kid.
But what I'm saying is, now, not only is these kids affecting other kids learning, then you're going to have them kids get bullied by people, and, then God forbid one of these bullies hurt a kid or something.
Or one of these kids go crazy because they got bullied.
Yeah. I mean, it's a slope that we don't need to go down.
And I feel sorry for the janitors.
Yeah, I mean, what they should do is make these kids' parents go up to the school and clean these litter boxes, and then I guarantee you that they wouldn't be using litter boxes.
I'm just saying, don't do that. Don't put it in a litter box. I think that's kind of ridiculous. You don't want someone's waste just sitting out there in the open.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that part's ridiculous. The cat ears and stuff, I mean, I don't understand it. I don't get it. But at the same time, I'm not going to walk up to someone who's like that and go, and just, I don't know, just do something horribly mean to them. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, I agree. But now, if you don't want people wearing those things and stuff, is Berea's a private school, right?
Yeah.
They can create whatever code they want. So at the end of the day, it's up to Berea to just say we don't want that or we want that. And I mean, they're not taking public funding.
Well, another thing, Bradley, think about this, like girls, for example. Like there are some girls that go to school that are allowed to wear certain outfits, and there are other girls out there that can't wear the exact same outfits because they're built a certain type of way.
Mhm.
And their reasoning for not allowing them to do it is because it causes a hostile environment or something, Darryl?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could put that costume in that same category if it's, attracting some kind of.
Then do dress. Then say you have a dress code against that, and everything's good. But that's the thing.
Where does it stop though? I mean, like today's it's cats, tomorrow's it's cows, then it's a goat. I mean, like it.
And then how many people are genuinely identifying as that, and how many are doing it just to troll and
They're
just
doing
to try
just to get attention and just to try to get out of their schoolwork's what they're trying to do.
There may be a few that really are that mentally at a place to where they want to identify as that, and then
Jimmy Johnson brings up a good point. And no, Matt Maynard, I don't think a person can be a cat, but at the same time, like I said, I don't have to understand it. I just know sometimes that, like if it's not affecting me in any way, I've been beside all kinds of people in different walks of life, and it doesn't bother me. But he said, I don't know. We all used to go to school and sit beside kids that hadn't taken showers for days and didn't even know what deodorant was. I think I can sit beside a cat person and still learn properly.
Imagine walking in the bathroom and seeing somebody
but that person with deodorant wasn't sitting there meowing and like drawing attention to themselves.
Darryl,
sometimes that person couldn't afford deodorant.
That's fair, but I can remember one person, and I'm not going to bring them up or anything like that, other than the fact this was in middle school, and this person stunk so badly it would like fill the classroom. I can remember sitting in there, and it was so bad, all you could smell was BO. Now, I'm just saying that was pretty dang distracting. And I mean, when as all you can smell and breathe is that person's BO, it was awful. And I don't know if someone needed to get them hand them a stick of deodorant or what, but they looked like they hadn't showered in days and all that. And I'm just saying, my point is, like if I could sit there and they did it alphabetically, and let's just say that my last name and their last name were pretty close in the alphabet, and if I could sit there and go through English class, with that, if there's someone sitting there with like cat ears, they can handle that too.
Well, we need less of them people and more of these people. In Western Kentucky, some kindergartners lined up to have their favorite janitor sign their yearbook last year as they went, and this janitor ended up just getting a bonus from the school that this happened at. So great story there coming out of Western Kentucky. Definitely a big shout out to the kids there. Listen, and that's what kids right now, if you're in school, do us a favor here on the Startup Morning Show. Go to your janitor today and just shake their hand and tell them thank you, because them janitors, people don't understand, these schools don't run without these janitors.
No, they're a very vital piece to the school.
Huge.
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
They work their tails off day in, day out.
They do relentlessly.
And they have to deal with things that, the average person wouldn't want to have to deal with or could deal with.
Well, guys, let's move on to a better subject. The other day, we had a young lady on the show that ended up going viral. Her videos was everywhere. You and JJ videoed Macy Maynard. And people, we had a lot of people message and ask, is this girl actually any good at basketball? Well, I got a highlight video of her. Check Macy out.
Nice pass. Nice pick and roll. Nice.
I mean,
Wow.
Macy uses both hands very well, her left, her right, and the thing you've seen, she worked very hard on her outside game, trying to extend her game a little bit out of the paint. This is a 6'4" freshman. This girl right here, she continues to work. Macy could be a D1 player someday.
She has really good footwork too.
You know what play really stood out to me, Darryl? It was on Tug Valley's court, the dunk pass inside. Her vision on that play, for vision as a freshman at that age, to be able to get the ball, look, see, and that quick dump that led to an easy basket, stuff like that. Being able to see the game slowed down that much for her at this age is a great sign for her in the future.
Yeah, she's going to be really good. I mean, at 14 years old, already 6'4", she's already got. She's a really good rebounder, a really good defender. She has tremendous court vision. I mean, I just need to see a little more of that jump shot, because the one clip that you had, I mean, she's got good form.
She's got form.
Yeah.
That's one thing she's got to continue to work on is that form.
Yeah, but it's still, you can see the potential though. Like, that's.
But the thing is where she was to where she's come from. I mean, listen, this girl puts in the work. You talking about she's transformed her body to where people would never think she would have gotten, and it's just her work ethic really over the last 3 years. She flipped the switch there, in like 4th, 5th grade, when you was like, okay, this girl can either be really great or she's going to waste her talent. Well, she wanted to be really great. And the thing is right now, Macy could also be Macy don't need basketball. Macy will go to college on an academic scholarship if she needs to be, and I know she's really big wanting to go to a HBCU college. Howard is her dream school, so, hopefully, Macy can get that done, but, she sticks with Coach Robin Newsom. Robin Newsom will get this girl places that she never thought she would go. Hats off to Macy for the work she's put in, getting her game to where it's at today.
Absolutely.
Macy mentioned Harvard as well. I mean, like, she's her schools that she's really looking at are all prestigiously academic schools as well. Like that's what she's looking at, which is kind of different from what we usually hear. And that was the thing that stood out to me. All the schools she was mentioning, maybe not necessarily a basketball powerhouse, but boy, they'll set her up to be a powerhouse in life.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And Jimmy Johnson says she was very impressive and well-spoken during her interview. My favorite interview we've ever done on the show. You could just I could have listened to her for days.
I was shocked at how well-spoken she was as a freshman. A lot of times you get these young kids, and let's be honest, some kids are more comfortable with the public speaking than others. And she was as comfortable with like any senior we'd have on here, any college kid. Just she was ready to go. She's just sitting back, her legs kicked up, and just chatting.
And let's not act like she didn't hit the gene pool lottery. I mean, her mom's 6'3", her dad's probably 5. She definitely hit the lottery when it comes to the gene pool.
Absolutely. And she carried me through that interview, by the way. I mean, I definitely couldn't have done it without her.
Well, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
It's come at time. We're up against the hard break here. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue. We got a couple more good topics that's going on right now. We want to get your guys' opinion on. Plus, at 9:15, we will have Mingo Central head coach David Jones joining us. So make sure you guys come back and join us here on the Startup Morning Show. Bradley Dameron, JJ Pruitt, and Darryl McCoy.
In America, what does that mean? It means jobs. It means craftsmanship. And when it comes to Vaughan Bassett furniture, it means value. And Kemper recognizes that. That's why they've dedicated an entire gallery to Vaughan Bassett. Made in America. See the quality. And now, see the price. Come see your favorite Kemper store in Hazard, London, or Somerset.
Walters Kia. By now you know Kia is a great vehicle, and you know they come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. So why should you buy from Bruce Walters Kia? At Bruce Walters Kia, we're going to change your oil for free for life. And what you do with that money you save is up to you. Come check out the 2022 Kia Carnival and the 2021 Kia Sorento. Only at Bruce Walters Kia in Pikeville. Or shop us online at brucewalterskia.com.
Back here on the Startup Morning Show, JJ Pruitt to my left, Bradley Dameron to my right. Segment sponsored by our friends at Punk's Tires, located in Virgie, Kentucky. Punk's Tires, big news coming out. They are working with a big-time D1 player that they may be signing the NIL deal with.
Really?
Yep.
Let's say, do we have a name or?
Well, I don't want to give the name yet.
Okay, I got you.
I don't want to give the name until they release it, but it's definitely going to be great for our community. So, guys, the All-A golf tournament kicked off yesterday. The Pikeville Panthers won the boys All-A regional championship, 15th regional championship. You see E.B. Waters, Cam Roberts, and crew. As you see, the Pikeville Panthers, they won with a score of 321.
These kids are unbelievable. I mean, it seems like every other day you're giving me an article where one of these kids dominated with a 66 or a 68. And, I could see where they probably compete for a state championship as well, I would imagine.
Cam Roberts is something special, man. On the golf course. He's already going to Coastal Carolina. But that's the thing. Every week, something's coming across my way about Cam shooting like JJ said, a 66 or a 68 or or something. And I mean,
this kid will play in the PGA. I promise you that.
He's definitely has a bright future in golf. He definitely does.
Now, also finishing third was Prestonsburg's Brady Allen. Big shout out to him as Brady's getting ready for football season. Very excited for what he's doing. Also want to give a big shout out to a couple Martin County Lady Cards as we see 15th Regional All-A State Qualifier, Jaylee Deskins. Shout out to Jaylee for qualifying. We also want to give a big shout out to All-A champion from Martin County, Kennedy Evans. So a big shout out to Kennedy Evans and Jaylee Deskins from Martin County doing big things in the golfing world with Boo Newsom as their coach. And listen, if you follow D&D Sports Network, we kept you up on what Boo Newsom done at UPike. Boo Newsom had a fabulous career there. I'm not surprised at all with the success we're seeing from this Martin County team, Bradley.
Yeah, I'm not either. I mean, they do a magnificent job there at Martin County, and it's always good to see those kids succeed. And yeah, Boo Newsom is also really good about getting the information out. She works really hard for her kids.
The Macy Maynard's mom on here giving us a comment said, Macy said, "Thank you for the kind words about my girl. She's always had work ethic beyond any I have ever seen. She's never forced or asked to go work out. She asked to go to the gym, to go shoot ball, to go run, whatever it may be. She's the one who wants it," said, and thank you for acknowledging her academics. They're the most important to us. Ball stops bouncing at some point. Got to have an A plan. And also, she said, "Darryl, stop telling people I'm the biggest woman in Pike County." Well, Brandy, I know ever since Jenna Sparks transferred from Mingo, you might be the second tallest woman in Pike County. So I don't know. We'll take and defer to Jenna right now as the tallest, but Macy's mommy's definitely top two.
I wonder if she was a hooper back in the day.
No.
Oh, she wasn't?
No. Well, I don't know. In middle school, did you play in middle school, Brandy?
Yeah, or maybe volleyball.
Let me know. I can't remember. It seems like I don't know if she did or not. Not she missed her calling.
Yeah.
But as we're moving on here, guys. Big shout out to all the golf teams. Also, Jimmy Johnson says we can ask David about the Johnson Central whooping the other day. I'm just kidding. Said like he said he knew it was only going to make them better, help them in the future. Said I'm proud of them for playing a scrimmage. All schools should play games like that in the season too. In his opinion, get you ready for the postseason.
Amen.
Yeah. That's one thing. The other day, David would tell you, like Mingo Central, that was their first scrimmage. You got to remember, Johnson Central has been practicing for over a month. Mm-hmm. Mingo Central had a week, and so, I liked a lot of things that I seen, especially that second unit coming in. Listen, them little Joplin boys, Kazai and Davion. Mm-hmm. Them two boys are going to be stars.
Yeah, and doesn't surprise me at all. I mean that gene pool is strong. I've never met a Joplin that couldn't play any sport.
We've talked. Sorry. No, we talked a bit in the past about like the differences in West Virginia, Kentucky, like the rules and when schools start practicing and whatnot. So there's always going to be a little bit of a disadvantage there just because of the side of the river a school's on. But that is really magnified right at the beginning of the year, more so than you would see. Like if they played in the middle of the season, I still think Johnson Central's probably a better team, but I don't think it would be as lopsided. You would see it more. Mingo Central would have more of their kinks ironed out as well.
Oh yeah, and I tell you, what I seen the other night just makes me more excited for next Thursday when Tug Valley Mingo Central plays. Now, Bradley, that brings me to the previews. So, Bradley, let's start with Class A Tug Valley. Give us a preview on Tug Valley.
Well, last year Tug Valley had an 8-2 regular season. We'll just kind of talk about that real quickly for a minute. Their two losses were that loss to Mingo Central beginning of the year, and what has to be considered a miracle finish at Man, where Man threw that bomb there at the end, and then Tug won a playoff game and lost at Tucker County. Tug Valley has a lot back this year, Darryl. They did lose some on the line, and they lost Luke Bartram on the line, and then Buddy Markham, more of a tight end H-back, and then on the defensive line, he's just a standout. And then they lost Michael Curtis, that who played center linebacker, but they returned everyone else. A quarterback, Preston Mays coming back for his sophomore year. He played in 8 games before breaking his collarbone. He broke it against Westside in that game over there last year, and he's expected to really have a good year for them. And of course, Bryson Eli, he's the man in the backfield there for Tug Valley. You'll see Bryson in the backfield out on the outside as a receiver. You'll probably even see some Wildcat where he goes back there and takes a snap at different times this year. and he's pretty much Mr. Everything. I mean, he'll return punts. They'll get him involved a lot, and they have some other good backs back there like Adam Sloan and Kane Thompson and all that. But then, on the outside, you'll have Cameron Sloan, who had a great year as a freshman last year, Ashton Davis and Brady Brewer and all that. So the Panthers definitely have some offensive weapons, and they do return most of their line. They're going to miss Bartram, but they return most of their line, so that's a good thing for them. And then defensively, they have pretty much they're going to miss Bartram. The three guys who I mentioned who they did lose, they'll miss them on the defense probably more than as much or more than on the offensive side. But then you'll still have all those great guys in there, and then of course you have Bryson back there at in the secondary at safety. He was a first team All-Stater at safety last year. We talk about his offensive exploits, we forget about that, and then they have a good kicker, which kind of is a luxury in West Virginia. Aiden Bosserman was an excellent kicker last year, and really kind of surprising he didn't get more mention for All-State with his kicking stats last year, but maybe this year. So that's Tug Valley. What are your thoughts on Tug Valley coming this year, guys?
I think this year, Haiti Ford has a really good senior class. I think with led by Ashton Evans or Ashton Davis. I mean, I always get them two.
That's the other thing. Ashton led the state in single A, at least in sacks last year.
He did. The kid is a freak, and I think early in his career, everybody thought basketball was his thing, but now I think he's going to have just as many chances to play college football as he will basketball, and I think they got one of the best backs in the mountains, one of the biggest playmakers in Bryson Eli. I think Preston May is a stud at QB. I think they got a lot of pieces, to the puzzle. I think they're going to have another special regular season there. Haiti Ford has things rolling there in Naugatuck.
Haiti Ford has. He picked up where Tony Kluski left off, and he has it going right now. But now we're going.
Let's go on to Mingo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really excited to, finally get to see him play. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to watch many high school games, so I'm really looking forward to this game on August the 29th. I mean, that's the one I'm the most excited about.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big party in Mingo County, but I'm going to go up on the mountain for a second. Of course, Coach David Jones, we're going to speak to him here in a few minutes. His minors, they kind of came back from obscure, like they kind of fallen down the cliff a bit, and they finished with an 8-2 regular season record, and of course, they had that heartbreaking loss in the opening round, but that's I think a lot of that could be attributed to losing their quarterback during that game. Chris Ross got hurt, and of course he's one of their losses. They're going to miss him, and they're going to miss a playmaker like Malachi Shepard and Chaz Wayne on the lines, and then you have Alex Muncie and DC Prater. So they have some holes to fill. But the big one here, is a quarterback, and you have Jackson Annie Mills and Caden Porter who have been battling out. If I'm understanding correctly, and I could be wrong, we'll ask David. I think Jackson is maybe moving ahead on that. But
last he told us that was what he said.
Yeah, he was leaning that way. So, but I mean that was kind of how that was going. But having Dylan Vance this year will give them a big boost. That
kid's the stud,
an all-state running back in his own right. And anytime especially with a new quarterback, if you have that guy, you can just hand the ball to. That can pick up big yardage. That's a key deal. Of course they're also going to have like Bam Coleman back there and Davion Joplin, and I think you'll see LaQuest Strother. He's more of an H back. You'll see him kind of in that role, but he'll get some carries as well. Big punishing kid. And of course, whoever, Jackson, that quarterback, he's going to have like Aiden Burke, who's going to be one of our better playmakers in the area, I feel, this year.
Yeah, what he's got to do, Bradley, is they got to find a way to get Aiden Burke the football. And I know Jackson Denny Mills, his game is a little more dinks and dunks than throwing downfield. Which you wonder, like Aiden Burke, that's his strength, is getting downfield, making them big plays. So I look forward to seeing how Coach Jones and Josh Salmons comes up with an offense to where they can take and make Aiden Burke as most valuable as they can, how they can use him, in the most effective way. Because when you got a kid like Aiden Burke, you got to get the rock in his hands.
There might be a few more wide receiver screens, maybe some end arounds, things like that, just to get him the ball and give him a chance to get an open space somewhere. But it'll be interesting because now he is the type of kid. I see Jacob Rutherford here says Aiden Burke will be one of the best players in AA. Absolutely, he'll be one of the best players in AA. A playmaker like that, you get him the ball and let him do some stuff with it.
And I tell you, he gets overshadowed because of the big names with Aiden Burke and LaQuise Struthers and people like that. But make no mistake about it, Dylan Vance, this kid is a freak.
Dylan Vance is, and he will contribute both in the rushing and receiving game. And he's the type of kid that can break a play at any moment. And there aren't too many kids who, when they touch the football, there's a chance they're going to score, no matter where they are in the field. And he's one of them. We had one we talked about, like Bryson Eli with Tug Valley. Well, Dylan Vance is just as capable any moment he touches the ball. I think the same is with Aiden Burke. If he touches the ball, no matter where he is, he has a chance to break free and score. And then, Mingo, they also had some, they also have like Donovan Valdelamar. He's going to have a big year, I feel like he's going to have a big year out there. And he's another guy that David's going to find ways to get the ball in his hands, and some magic's going to happen with that.
And Jackson Denny Mills, the thing about Jackson is he controls, a offense. He never does more than he's capable of. He never gets too high, too low. The kid, what he is. He's going to go out there. He's going to run his team to perfection, and he's going to give his team to win. His team a chance to win night in, night out.
Yep, and you really can't ask for more than that on the high school level.
No, and this kid was a huge pickup for the Miners. They needed that. Yeah,
absolutely a big pickup. They needed him, and so I do kind of think that's been a big deal for him.
Jacob Brewford says, "What would you say is Mingo's biggest negative or question mark this season?"
It's not really a negative, but I guess the biggest question mark is meshing with a new quarterback and a different style of play.
I'm going to say their line. When you lose a center like what
Chaz
was his
Wayne?
name? Yeah, Chaz Wayne. That loss will go. Further than people think. Like losing a piece like that. You knew what he was. He was the quarterback of that line. I want to see what this line is on both sides of the trenches. And then I've heard that Jace, what's Jace's last name? Harmon. I think his mom's last name's Harmon, but Jace, I'm pretty sure he's not eligible the first couple of weeks. And when they get him back, it's really going to help that defensive line. But, I look forward to seeing, how good the line is will tell you how good Mingo Central is at the end of the day.
It will. And I tell you, though, he does have some returners back on that line, though. So it's not like the cupboard is bare. But Chaz was definitely a big time lineman. You know, he's going. I saw a picture on Facebook here just a couple of days ago. He's was heading down to Tusculum. He's going to play college ball at Tusculum down in Tennessee. Shout out to Division II, but he's definitely was a great player there. And I mean, I think too, you know, on the flip side, defensively, you know, you mentioned Jace Harmon. You know, I think, you know, on that side of the ball, you know, I think that's where Mingo is going to. I think they're going to be improved overall defensively. Just having that extra year under their belt, and they were a pretty good defensive club last year.
Yeah,
and like LaQuest Strother, defensively, man, he's a stud.
He is, you know, and that's the interesting thing, you know. I can't remember if it was Davion or Kazai, whoever number 30 is for Mingo. That kid stood out in that Johnson Central scrimmage, and that's a kid that I think, you know, has a chance to play varsity this year. You know, they played him on JV, but, you know, we'll find out, you know, when we have David on, you know, which kid that was. But, you know, at the end of the day, and somebody asked us here, Jimmy Johnson says, what games are we doing this week? Jimmy, right now, we know we will be on Pine Mountain, Letcher Central versus Shelby Valley. We know we'll have that game. You know, we're working on possibly either doing Paintsville and Floyd Central or Martin County and Hazard. So if we add another game, we got a few people that's out this week, few of our producers, so we're a little short-handed. But if we add one, it'll be one of them 2 games. So definitely going to be a tough one there. You know, Shelby Valley Letcher Central game, you know, we'll go into more of it later in the week, but I'm excited for that one, man. You got Junior Matthews, Tyler Johnson. That's going to be a good one on Pine Mountain. Tom Nenny said, love seeing Davion run the ball. The second I saw him do for 4 kids at once, I knew it was Rodney's boy. Now, Todd, is Davion, was that number 30? Is Davion who number 30 is? And a lot of people don't know, Mingo Central got another big pickup on the transfer wire. The Maddox Sarton leaves Chapmanville and goes to Mingo Central, which was a huge pickup, you know, for Mingo Central, which he'll be hurt the first year, so he won't get a play this year. But next year, that was a big piece for them, man. You know, that kind of went under the radar, but you know, that kid right there was a huge pickup for Mingo Central. Now, Todd Nenny, Jacob Rufus says, Belfry doing their 100 years of football Friday. Yes, they are. Belfry versus Breathitt County, 100 years. I think this is the 30th matchup, maybe, or 20th, Mike. They're 10-9, I think, is the record. So it'd be this will be the 20th time that these 2 teams have met.
Is this the game where they're wearing the special jerseys, Darryl, the throwbacks?
I don't know. I ain't heard.
The Belfry, I saw something a while back where Belfry, I think I put out something a while back where Belfry had some throwback jerseys. This for this upcoming year.
Oh, wow.
But listen, I put out so many things since then, I can't remember all the details, but I do remember putting that out there at one point about their.
I'll tell you what I would like to see. I'd like to see Tristan Chapman come with the cutoff those netted uniforms cut off with the neck roll. I would love to see that. But guys, we're gonna take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Mingo Central head coach David Jones on tap. Come right back and join us here on the Startup Morning Show. Winning tire shop that focuses on customer service that's family owned and family operated. Stop by and see our friends Jeremy and Chasta at Punk's Tires. If you have a hectic work schedule and you're looking for a non-stressful, convenient way to buy tires, take advantage of Punk's Tires appointment Saturdays. If they don't have the tire you're looking for, they guarantee it to have it the next day. Punk's Tires can take care of all your needs in tires, wheels, wheel alignments, brakes, rotors, minor mechanic work, and more. They'll treat you like family from the second you walk through the door. Come see us in Virgie, Kentucky, or give us a call at 606-639-TIRE. That's 606-639-TIRE. Pass, bring them to Hall and Jones Funeral Home in Virgie, Kentucky. We let you grieve in peace instead of worrying about a heavy financial burden of burying a loved one. Here at Hall and Jones, we have multiple chapels that can accommodate any size family. We look forward to helping you and your family here at Hall and Jones. We're back here on the Startup Morning Show. Bradley Dammer and the mean streets of Marbone Creek represented. We got JJ Pruitt, Darryl McCoy, and none other than D&D Sports co-owner, Mingo Central head coach, David Jones. Good morning, David.
Good morning, fellas. How y'all doing?
Doing good. Sounds like better than you. It sounds like you just woke up, Coach.
Nah, man. My allergies is on 100,000 right now.
You're over in Little Italy camp running from them bears, ain't you?
Yeah, that was a big. They got a couple over here right now, man, and yeah, this one I seen the other night was probably about 7 foot tall.
Yeah,
We'll have to
get him
watch
out for the basketball team, man. Just put him on the basketball floor if he's 7 foot tall.
Yeah, I wasn't going to ask it, so no worries.
You'll leave that up to Stan, won't you?
Yeah, he got to handle that one on his own. I don't want him on my team.
Yeah, well, JJ and Bradley don't know, Coach, but last year, whenever we'd have the show, the Crunch Time show, which we'll start up next Thursday night. We'd have it up on Minor Mountain, and every time we'd walk out of the studio, we would literally have to take and run to our cars and turn the headlights on so we could see if the bear was out there.
That is insane.
Yeah, we got a couple of friends up there too that's not afraid of humans. So
no, not at all. Coach Jones, the football's in the air, man. You got one under your belt, and you said beforehand, you said this would be tough on us. We've only been practicing, a week and a half, 2 weeks, and Kentucky's had a month to practice, leading up to it. And I felt that whenever I left there, the one thing that I did feel is you guys, you held your own. People act like that there was a huge difference. Now, don't get me wrong, there is a huge difference from Johnson Central to anybody, in smaller classes, but you guys held your own, and I seen a lot of positives that come out of that game.
Yeah. All those that was talking like that don't know football and don't know. Yeah. But I mean, I knew what was going to go down whenever I scheduled them. I mean, it was one of those things, but if you want your team to be you want a good team, and you want to see where you need the pieces you need to fill, and who's going to be tough and who's going to lay down, you're going to schedule a team like Johnson Central, and and that's what we did. And we knew it was going to be at a disadvantage, but take nothing from Johnson Central. They're just I wanted the disciplined team coming in, and I wanted like a traditional team coming in too. So that was really huge for us, and we got to figure out a lot of things, and we got to tweak a lot of things and all that stuff too. But it was just great, just bringing Peck, bringing them guys down, and we getting getting a piece of that. So
I was telling them, one of the kids that really stood out for me is a kid on the JV program, number 30. Who is that? Is that Davion Kazai? Who?
That was Davion. He wore 30 in a practice jersey. He's actually going to be, he's number 2 this year.
Okay.
But that was Davion, Rodney Joplin's son.
Yeah, that kid was tough, man.
Yeah, he's tough. He, Davion plays defense. He's on special teams. He actually played some for us last year too. He's going to be a sophomore. He's going to get some reps in the backfield on varsity too. But he's going to be very special. Davion's coming within his own right, and as y'all seen a little glimpse of it the other night, I see it all the time. So it wasn't a surprise to us, but Davion's tough. He's gonna get a lot of reps for us this year and in the future. He's one of our future stars.
Now, who you got preseason coming up this week?
We actually going to Herbert Hoover today.
That's a lot of stock in that game because the old coach Joey Fields. I can guarantee you that the Miner fans have probably been chirping in your ear, Coach. We got to get this one.
Oh man, Joey's one of my guys. I've known Joey since he was younger, and the respect level I got for him and his coaching abilities and the teams that he prepared is top to none. And we're gonna go up there to get some work done, and we're not looking at no scoreboard or anything like that. We're just coming in to make each other better. Me and Joe, we actually take care of each other here in West Virginia, and we're gonna try to get each other better. We actually both play on Thursday of next week.
So you're playing the scrimmage game tonight?
Yes, yeah, because so we decided to do that because we both play next week, next Thursday, and that gives guys that rest time, that rest period. And give us enough time to prepare and all that good stuff.
Well, I could tell JJ's over here itching in his seat, waiting to ask you a question. So I'm gonna let JJ get to you.
Well, if you see my legs shaking, it's the ADHD that's kicked in.
Yeah, but, that's his ADHD moments.
Coach Jones, man, it's always good to see you, man. And what I would like to know is you were a defensive-minded person. So talk to me a little bit about the scrimmage game and what you saw on the defensive side of the ball and like the positives that you saw and some things that you might be able to get better at.
Well, a lot of people don't know we didn't play a lot of our starters on defense the other night either. They was nicked up or whatever it may have been, and or we wanted to see some of our younger guys get in there and do some stuff. So we sit some of our guys, but we saw a lot of positive. Of course, everybody talk about Lakeith Strutters at our linebacker, but our big dog is Tegan Hackney. He's one of the heart and souls of that defense, and everything, and and I love how he practiced how he plays. So it was pretty neat getting to see him. Well, I got to get in there a little bit yesterday, and we was playing around a little bit. Me and him side, and everything I tell him, he's like, "Yeah, I go in there, coach." Like he's a special kid, and he's gonna have a special year this year too. We got Damari Young in our defensive backfield. He's one of the best DBs in the state. He got 3 games with us last year, and but he's here full time now. And the big thing with him, you can leave him one-on-one. He can guard anybody in the state. And in guarding Aiden Burke every practice, that's just gonna make both of them better.
Absolutely. And so what about some of the sleeper players? Like you mentioned that you didn't play your starters. So were there any like maybe freshmen on the team that may have surprised you a little bit and could possibly contribute to coming in next week whenever you play Tug Valley?
Yeah. We had, Peyton Parker, a kid from Matewan. He's a stud. He actually played JV quarterback. But people don't know he's a heck of a linebacker also. He's going to get some varsity time. Not only that, Jacob Maynard, he played big time ball for us. We're very, very high on him. Another freshman and stuff. So, and then there was a lot of guys that played some good ball. Like Riley Pope, the younger brother of Gary Pope. He played some good minutes on a varsity line for us. We had some guys, some of our starters nicked up and stuff, but we got some guys. Of course, y'all know Bam Coleman. He's a sophomore coming up.
Yeah.
He played some good minutes for us and stuff too. So, man, we was excited about everything. Everybody, you can't dwell on definitely a scrimmage game like that. Like you can't dwell on those at all. We had a great time. We got to learn our kids. We got to learn. We got to tell them what to do or not to do. All kinds of things, man. And it was great just having Johnson Central coming down, and giving us a thumping. It was lovely because, our kids was like, "Oh, coach, you wasn't lying, man. We got to go harder in the weight room. We got to do this. We got to do that." And honestly, that following Monday, we work out every day, before practice, and you know, they was in there going hard and you know, harder than they usually do and stuff like that. But it was all positive vibes and stuff. So that was a major bonus coming out of that game.
Yeah, and you know the bad thing is you know that day the football gods did not help you out any as it poured the rain, and you know knowing that Johnson Central's a run heavy football team, so
well, I mean, it don't matter any day they gonna run football, so, and we knew we just had to stop it, but that didn't work too well.
So Bradley, go ahead. I know you got some questions for Coach.
Yeah, David. You know, when we talked a while back, you know, you were talking that your sole focus right now is Tug Valley. Now looking ahead to that one, I know you've been studying that team, and well, you know that team probably almost as well as you know your own at this point. Tell us a bit about that. What you see in that game coming up.
Well, I mean, you know, it's no secret that they're getting everybody back. So, you know, a lot of people, you know, we're the underdogs coming in. We the one that lost, you know, our quarterback, our center, and our big studs on the defense side. So we're the underdogs coming in. We know that. You know, we accept that. You know, and we know we're a entirely different team from last year, and we accept that also. We just gonna come in, you know, prepared and ready to go. We know they got big dogs everywhere on the field. You know, we hear it every day, and stuff, and we preach that to them as coaches too. So we understand that we're the underdogs coming in here in the game next Thursday. You know, but at the end of the day, you know, when we get between those white lines, you got to play football. So we're ready to go. Are we ready right now? Absolutely not. You know, we'll see some more things tonight and make some more adjustments and stuff. And, you know, come Friday, you know, this Friday, we're gonna get prepared even more and to go on into Monday and you know, and get ready for next weekend, you know, and welcome them on up on the mountain.
And David, one thing I've always admired about you as a coach is your ability to get kids noticed, like by colleges, like at all levels. You know,
he's the best.
He from big to small, absolutely. How is that going like right now? Like, how's that going with some of your kids? I know during the summer, some were going on visits and all this and that. I mean, you know where I want some of them to go, but you know, just how's that going for you, man?
Oh man, it's going great. You know, I've talked to several, you know, coaches actually the other day too. You know, that's one thing I take pride in is getting our guys opportunities. And that's one thing that they understand. They can come, you know, when they come up here, to Mingo, they're just gonna play football. We handle the rest of the stuff. You know, I just go to them. You know, what I'm doing right now is we're setting up game day invites right now. You know, y'all going to be seeing some guys at some WVU game day invites, Kentucky, Marshall. You know, I think we talked to Dayton, Ohio the other day, Miami of Ohio and the Ohio Bobcats. We've had a lot come through, man, like West Virginia State, of course, you know, UC. We got a lot coming in, but, you know, I love that. That's what I do. I'm a very personable coach, so I like to talk to the coach personally. You know, and I think that goes a long ways, you know, getting our guys in and stuff like that. So I'm very, very excited for our guys and the opportunities that they have, you know, because they work hard. So, you know, we want to work hard for them, make sure they're getting every opportunity they deserve.
Or Coach, you see Daniel Williams here says he thinks that Garen Hinkle is going to be a good football player for you. Tell us a little bit about that kid.
Yeah, he's going to be a good one. He's a freshman, you know, and very raw, you know, and you know, he's going to be a good little player later on in the future. We moved him positions. I wish he would have started off in his position from the beginning, but you know how middle schools and youth leagues are and stuff like that. Yeah. So we moved him to his natural position. He's playing center. And some tackle and stuff and some D line stuff. But he's going to be a good player for us later on in the future.
Jimmy Johnson says, "Our Thursday night football games the norm in West Virginia high school football? I know every year Man and Logan start out on Thursdays, but normally it's week one when you see the most, right?"
Yeah. honestly, in our situation, we want everyone to come to our games, and we understand, the Pike County Bowl history, and all that. So, that's one thing that, we didn't want to compete with the Pike County Bowl, nor the Pike County Bowl competing with, the Crossroads. We're right here. So, we want somebody just called me. I don't know who it was. But we want everybody to come in and compete with, not compete with the Pike County Bowl.
Okay. Can you hear us, Coach? Can you hear us? Yeah, we'll have to have message Coach tell him log back on.
I got you.
Log in and log back out. So as Coach Jones was talking there, Bradley, the thing that I understood is that right now there's a lot of unknowns, and still going into that Tuck Valley game, I think he's having his players, like they're coming in as underdogs,
right?
And myself, I still think they're the big dog, but here they go. There we go. We got Coach Jones back now.
Yeah, somebody trying to call. I don't know. We
could hear you. You just couldn't hear us.
Sorry, I get calls from 7 a.m. to on. I guess people think I don't do nothing with my life, but it gets annoying. People don't understand why I don't answer their calls even when I am available.
Well, Coach, the thing that tell us that. Is there anything special you got planned this year? Whether it's certain uniforms, do y'all got any new upgrades to the facilities? Anything going on up there that fans need to know about?
Oh yeah, man, we got some great things going on right now. We actually we're in the process of putting our logo in our locker room on our floor and stuff, and it's going to be like sort of like a sacred ground, like some of these colleges and stuff, and trying to get that tradition up there. And we're going to do some things, and we got a little media section in our locker room. JJ seen it up there for media day, where we can go and we do like mock interviews and stuff, or whenever kids have interviews, we take them over there and do them there. And we got a lot of other new things we're going to do. You're going to see on the jumbo chart too this year. A little bit of the game day experience with music and videos and all that good stuff. So we got a lot of little nicks and naps we're going to do, and of course we're always excited, and our kids are always excited getting D&D up in there.
Well, David, we got a couple comments. Jimmy Johnson has your back. He said he thought a bear got you. He was ready to call 911 for you.
No, I got her up against the door. Don't worry.
Terry Jackson says, as always say, Coach Jones said is first class and is a player's dream coach. Said keep impacting and making a difference. Coach said we need more coaches like you. Jacob Ruford says need to get that light show going on like UK, David.
Yeah, well, we got the light systems and stuff up there. We just they're actually gonna send me an email thing. We got some little surprises. Don't worry. And our principal is really big on like the fireworks show and all that. They really let us do that game day experience and all that good stuff. So we got little things up our sleeve that we're gonna bring back to the mountain that they once had up there.
Still the best place to watch a football game in the mountains, bar none, and that's got to be the biggest blessing. I mean, things, you always wonder why things happen, in life. And then, you go out to Bourbon County, you come back and then you get to coach what's basically in your backyard. A lot of people don't know, if you had a strong arm, you could probably throw a rock from football field and hit your house. And, whenever you talk about, going up there on Friday nights, when the fog is rising and you just see them lights up there, like them bright lights, there's nothing like a ball game on Minor Mountain. You've got to be a huge blessing, right, Coach? Up there?
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's a dream come true. I mean, I spent most of my years, as a Belfry Pirate, of course, and but coming home is just a different beast, within its own self. family to me is, you can't beat family, and getting to have my parents and them there, um, my sisters and my brothers and all them, getting to have them there to support me, and and my childhood friends. You know what I'm saying? Like I got all my buddies and stuff around me, and I just love that. I'm really blessed to be in this situation and get the opportunity to do that. But I can tell you one thing, Coach Peck and them, they was loving it up there in the views and stuff that that we have up on the mountain too. So it was pretty awesome hearing it from them. And of course we're talking about our Kentucky days and all that stuff too.
Yeah, Coach Peck, he's got that city life over there. Yeah, that's all they are is the city from his field.
Right.
So they, Bradley, I know Bradley had a couple more questions for you, and then we'll let you hop out of here. But go ahead, Bradley.
David, whenever you talked about, last year we talked a bit about you coming into Mingo Central, this being your second year. What things have you? I mean, you've been a head coach for a hot minute, but every place is different. What did you pick up from last year at Mingo Central that you are pushing forward with for this year?
I mean, we're just, every place is different. Every place you got to, put your stamp on and things like that. But here at Mingo, this is where I'm from, so we speak the same language. We sound the same. We all redneck. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah. It was nothing to me. The thing that I just had to focus on and concentrate on is getting our kids prepared, and on top of that, making sure that that as coaches, we're prepared to make sure we can get our kids ready to go, and we speak the same message, and and staying consistent in what we're doing. They know I don't play no games up here. When it comes to discipline. We don't care who you are. We're going to make sure we're trying to build a great program. And like I told our kids the other day, you got all these people out here saying this and saying that, but at the end of the day, we got to stay consistent. And each year you may see a different Mingo team, but we're gonna put a product on the field that best fit them. We're not going to try to do something that they're not. So, and with that, been said, I mean, it's just, when you from Mingo, so it's a different beast,
We were talking a little bit about the quarterback situation there. You have Jackson Mills and you had Caden Porter there, and they were both kind of battling. Where's that looking right now? Have you made a decision or just still battling it out?
Oh, they're still neck to neck. We got another game today, and like we told them, one of the two gonna have to separate themselves in the game, and stuff like that. But it's been great. Not only that too. We those guys. A lot of people don't know those guys play other positions also. You don't be surprised if you see them somewhere else on the field too, and. But I'm excited for both of them guys, man. They have worked their tails off and just been so humble about it and great teammates with each other. And I couldn't ask for a better competition. But when it comes to offense side ball, I don't say a word. I leave that to Coach Sammons and Coach Endicott. And when it comes to defense side of the ball, I give Coach Shep my opinion at DBs. That's it.
Well, they better be on their A game, because I tell you, that JV quarterback looked really good the other night.
Oh yeah. That's Peyton Parker. He's a little freshman stud. We got. He's a what is he? Where's he from? Newtown, I think. Yeah, Newtown or Beach Creek. He's from up that way, one of the two. But them one of those kids. Those kids can play ball from up that way. So that we always say he reminds us of Day. The former quarterback at Mingo and stuff. He ain't got the height yet, but he's tough as nails.
Well, the Jimmy Johnson is wanting you to speak on Kentucky versus Southern Miss, 7:45 on Saturday, week 0. Who you got, Kentucky, Ole Miss?
Oh, Kentucky all day. I say it'll probably be 35-17.
Well, and that's the thing, these games, I like you kept it close because normally these games like this, Stoops never really goes in and especially in that first week and is able to blow these teams out. Normally they'll keep it a little bit close.
Yeah, it's just like a pregame scrimmage game or first year game. It's going to always be close. You're going to have some nicks and nads and a lot of mistakes. So and being able to play in some of those games, of course, we played against Western Kentucky when I was there. We played against EKU, and it sort of kind of was close. But those first games is pretty tough. And not only that, you're bringing in cats that's wanting to beat the SEC, and it's hard to get up whenever you're in the SEC trying to play some lower level competition.
The reclassification come down the other day. A lot of schools, 22 schools in all, got reclassified last minute. Right now, how does that affect you as a coach when it comes to, I know, you guys' classification didn't change, but, some of the teams that you had scheduled changed. And, when you think you're getting points for playing a 3A team and now they're a 2A, how's that affect you as a coach?
It's just aggravating because you're scheduling and stuff. But, with us, it really didn't affect really much. With us, but I know with a lot of other single A and 3A, it's affected a lot. But at the end of the day, we this is probably the first. I know it's the first anybody here because we haven't did it yet. I'm going to talk to administration, and I've already talked with with the Pike County Bowl and all that. So y'all might see Mingo Central and Pike County Bowl next year.
Wow. That's huge.
huge.
Yes. And it's funny, the other day, we had East Carter coach Tim Champlin on, and he said he turned the Pike County Bowl down, said he, would love to play in it, but his schedule just didn't allow it. You guys being able to go to that Pike County Bowl, I promise you, Mingo Central fans want that more than anything because the last time they went, it didn't turn out exactly the way they wanted it. So, hoping for, better time this coming time in the Pike County Bowl. But, I really hope that happens because that right there is huge news, for you guys to be able to play in such a big event like that. And, again, that I take it that would be week 1.
Yeah. That'll be our week 1. It'd actually be like next week whenever we start. That'll be our week 1. That'll be Pike County's or Kentucky's week 2.
Okay.
That will allow us to play. That will allow us to play in it. And 2, so we don't get a big, frenzy and people will be messaging me about Belfry this and all that. We will not be playing Belfry in the game or Pikeville.
Okay.
Want to be talking to playing, I think, around
Shelby Valley, Pike Central.
More of our 2A level and stuff like that. Not only that, let's be realistic. Y'all know I'm honest. Them are programs at this time right now with where our program is at and what we're doing, that fits what we're doing. So, well,
you do this and you cement yourself in it, and then maybe next go around, maybe that's when you can play the big dogs.
Yeah, I don't really, where I'm in my program, I don't really consider them the big dogs. It's just programs within their self of tradition, like a Central or whatever. You don't want to bite off more than you can chew, and in this coaching world, a lot of people get a little bit complacent stuff, and I'm not like that. So I'm really big on trying to play guys that we match well up against and all that. And not only that, bring good views to the Pike County Bowl because it's a very respected bowl game.
So is that in the works or is it done or?
Oh no, it's basically a done deal. I just got to talk with administration and in West Virginia, our administration, they sign off on stuff and once we talk it up and all that good stuff, we'll be they probably get it announced and all that. But right now, I've talked with the director of the Pike County Bowl, and it's 100% going there in.
No, that is awesome, man. I mean, to be able to see Mingo Central in that, I promise you, everybody would love to see that. So as you're sitting here looking, Jacob Ruford says, as a former college player, how do you like the transfer portal?
I think it's terrible. It's terrible for the game of football. Just no commitment. It's just a terrible thing for the game of football. No commitment or anything like that, and all that stuff. I could remember, going through some things at Kentucky and just had a battle through them and just made me a better person, a better player.
That's the tough part about it is, in the transfer portal, it makes it the only reason the biggest reason I don't like it is because it's hurt high school kids. I was listening to a coach the other day saying that, now they've got to the point to where, a college football coach said, every position said they might recruit one high school kid at every position now. Said, and some programs said they'll only recruit 2 to 3 high school kids overall because, of course, it benefits them getting them from the transfer portal.
Yeah, it's tough, man, because even, dealing with the recruiters and everything is, we're negotiating, and things, and you got to pitch to them, because they'll be like, well, coach, I got this kid right here in the portal. What else can your kid do besides that? And I'll come back with, our kid is 2 years younger than this cat. Our kid can play this position, that position. Our kid is a 4.0 student. Our kid's background is this, and I love it. I love being able to do it. That's why I say, like, getting your kids recruited nowadays is more than just posting something on the internet. You gotta get, and you gotta talk to these coaches, and you gotta know this one and that one, and it's a freaking monopoly, guys. It's tough, but I love doing this. I think that's what keeps me going and all that good stuff. But I love doing it. But it's tough though. That portal is a man. I'm telling you.
Well,
Dave, oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Bradley.
David, have you noticed this with the portal as well too? I see this a lot. You know me, I follow a lot of small college football and all of that. What I've seen is it seems like now it's the smaller colleges that are like kids who may be like that tweener D1, D2 type kid. It'll end up in D2 or something just because, the D1 schools are pulling the better kids from the lower levels before they're going to the high school kids now. Because I see a lot like at my alma mater, I'm pretty in touch with that program, and I see like for example, we had a lineman that went to Colorado State. They just pulled him. It seems like the smaller colleges are being almost used as like a JUCO now.
Yeah, you're correct, man, and that's really tough because they're being used like that, and then they go have a big year, and then they just go sit behind a 4 or 5 star, and that's tough. But that goes back to the NIL deal. So they're leaving these places to go get this money, So I'm telling y'all, it is wild. That's why it's very huge, and I'm very big on being honest with my guys and letting them know, like, hey man, like, this is where you need to go. You're gonna be able to play. You don't need to chase this type of money or whatever, chase that education. So it's tough, and it's tough to tell a kid them and their families been struggling, and they got the abilities to go make some money, and so with that, it's a thin line of how I tell my guys and how I talk with their parents about the situations and all that. But I'm all for, if you can go make some money for your family, go make that money.
Well, Coach Harley Quillen says it 100% affects high school recruits. Said you have to build strong relationships to get your kids out there.
He's telling the truth, and Coach Quinn is one of the best out there too. I got a lot of respect for him and Coach Darryl's over there. But Quinn is one of my guys, one of my favorites.
Todd Nenny says, I'm all for the kids getting dollars from the benefits of their name, but before it started, they should have put a qualifier that a kid has to graduate with a 4-year degree from that school to get NIL money from it.
I agree. I mean, I totally agree. I was one of those athletes that, we had to struggle to get there, but at the same time is you're not really struggling in college. We still got a monthly check, and we still got free housing and food and all that. Under 30, 50,000, 100,000 a month.
the only thing that I would say that the only thing that sometimes it got a little ridiculous to where, like, say if a booster or a person that is a friend of the program, takes a player, hey, listen, you want to go eat with me and my family Friday night, and then they're getting punished for that. That's the only thing that I think needed cleared up in that stuff, is making where, kids, if they take a 99-cent cheeseburger from somebody, that they're getting ruled ineligible. That would be the only thing I would have.
Maybe cap it at
You hit it. It is tough on alums. Like, I can remember, when my nephew Raekwon was coming out, and I would go back to Kentucky and stuff, and I couldn't I couldn't really go to certain recruitings or talk to them. Even whenever it was funny because I was down there and Cash Daniels was getting recruited, and and I was in there, and they all ran over to me. Oh, no. I'm like, we from the mountains,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to persuade or whatever. It was pretty crazy, but and now look at it, it's wild, but
it's the Wild West out there.
It really is the wild west.
Yeah. So, Coach Jones, we've come at time. We got 10 minutes left in the show. We want to thank you for always hopping on here. Did not know it was game night, but we'll definitely be cheering you on from afar. Make sure that you let us know how it goes on your way home tonight, and go get that dub for us here in the mountains. Represent us well, and we look forward to seeing you whenever we come back again next Thursday. We're hoping to get Crunch Time back going. We've had a lot of people ask about it, and Coach, want to wish you a great day, and thanks again for joining us.
Hey, I always appreciate coming on the show, man, and anytime I can pop on, I'm gonna pop on here, and even though if I ain't had my coffee yet, so
well, stay safe. Don't let them bears get you, and we'll catch up with you on Friday night.
All right, make sure you get when we get up next Thursday. I want you to take that picture for me, by the way. I ain't forgot.
All right, I got you.
See y'all, fellas.
See you guys.
Wear a lot of hats. They're coaches, volunteers, church members, neighbors, someone who's there when you need them, especially when you need them most. That may be a lot of hats, but they're all the perfect fit. Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
Central America, head to Sal's Steakhouse. Sizzle your senses with mouthwatering steaks, juicy burgers, savory chicken, and fall-off-the-bone ribs. Sal's Steakhouse, where your taste buds will thank you. Unleash the flavor at Sal's. Taste tradition, taste the difference.
Law High School, continue to follow D&D Sports, best coverage in the mountains.
And we are back here on the Startup Morning Show. JJ Pruitt, Darryl McCoy here, and we lost Bradley Dameron during that. I hope he's okay. As I told you, the mean streets of Marbone Creek gets rough.
I mean, it gets a little crazy. I mean, you never know what you could run into. You could run into some bears. I mean,
well, you got to worry about some hoodlums up there.
No, I've never been to the mean streets of Marrowbone Creek, but
We'll make sure we take you up there, JJ.
Uh-oh.
So Governor Jim Justice trying to save his hotel. His family owns the Greenbrier Hotel, and there's a PGA Tour event. A lot of big things happen at the Greenbrier. The Patriots used to go up there and have practice, their first practice every year. But Governor Justice, I got to reading into this. If you read the story, there's a lot of shady stuff going on behind the scenes.
Really?
Yeah. The Governor Justice, what had happened is he's asked to pay $3.4 million back in fees to medical insurance. And he had been taken, the employees got a letter that said August 27th that their insurance would stop if Governor Justice did not do this. Well, they're talking about foreclosing on Governor Justice's hotel. There you go, Bradley. You're back now.
I made it.
Yeah, there we go. We're talking about Jim Justice trying to halt foreclosure on his hotel, the Greenbrier.
Oh, Big Jim.
Yeah, a lot of shady stuff going on. It said that that they had been taking money out of the employees' checks for the health insurance, but not paying it. Now, remember, in the Forbes Fortune 400 or whatever, it come out that he's worth $500 million, him and his family. So, this $3 million, it seems a lot to be fight. I don't know how you're worth that much and you're having trouble paying $3 million.
I would imagine he probably, if that number is true, he probably receives that much a year in interest of having this money in the bank.
I mean, I don't know, man. There's always a lot of sketchy things going on with that. And a lot of times, though, that what someone's worth is also in their assets and maybe not cash in hand, which may mean he needs a few less assets and more cash in hand if he owes that much. So I don't know. Jim Justice, though, he's an interesting dude. It would be kind of comical, wouldn't it, though, just to see like the Greenbrier sold on the courthouse steps.
Well, and that's the people don't understand. This is a very historic hotel, and I was telling JJ, there's a PGA event there. The Patriots used to have their first practice there. The one of the biggest girls basketball tournaments are up there every year. Wyoming East has had a lot of success in recent history.
You know about the bomb shelter, the nuclear shelter underneath, right?
No.
Yeah, so look it up. Whenever the Cold War was going on, there was the threat of a nuclear war and all that. There was a secret, it was secret for many years, shelter built underneath the Greenbrier, the place they could quickly whisk away the president and whatever members of Congress they could and set something up underneath where they could live for years if need be under the Greenbrier. Just to keep some sort of government going in case something like that happened.
Wow, I did not know that, but I did know a lot of presidents have spent their nights there. Governor Jim Justice, he got a lot of praise during the COVID time, as he stood up to a lot of the masked people and stuff like that. But, right now, this is a bad look for the governor.
It's a real bad look. I will say this, though. Have you ever seen the Jim Justice coach a basketball game?
No.
I always thought, Darryl, it had to be the most intimidating thing for a ref. Whenever you're looking over and one of the coaches is the governor. When I got to the girls' state tournament this past year in West Virginia, he was coaching Greenbrier East girls, and you just walk in, sit down, look over, and there's the governor. When I walked into the Civic Center, his team was on the floor, and I'm like, well, there's the governor coaching his team.
I did not know he was coach.
At one point, he coached Greenbrier East boys and girls team. So but he's their girls coach right now at Greenbrier East.
He must have had a daughter that plays or something.
He's been coaching them for years.
Yeah.
So it's not really a daughter thing. He's just that man loves coaching basketball. He's also really, Big Jim. They're not joking. He's a huge dude.
If you remember, Mingo Central went to the Greenbrier girls basketball tournament and defeated Wyoming East there a couple of years ago.
They did, and that's a great setting. I mean, he has that set up, so it's mainly a girls' tournament. He's mainly coached the girls' side of things.
Yeah.
But he also did. But there for a while, he coached both. And I remember, I don't know if you remember Rondell Watson, who played at Wake Forest and then Marshall.
I do.
He was one of Jim Justice's players at Greenbrier East.
Well, guys, yesterday evening, the Double Quick finished up their meet and greet tour with Trent Noah as fans gathered around the Pikeville Double Quick on Town Mountain Road to get autographs from all the fans, or from Trent Noah. And you seen fans with shoes, balls, shirts. They had a little bit of everything there. The fine folks at Double Quick, they done a hit. This was a hit with the fans across the Bluegrass with BBN getting Trent Noah in town to give autographs. And that a lot of them got that. You got to take free pictures, get free autographs. They had paper pictures there for you. You could talk. Do whatever you wanted. You got to spend some time with him. But I'm really excited that the folks at Double Quick did this, guys. This was a huge opportunity for UK fans to get to meet one of their own.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I mean, it's awesome on his part for showing up to do the autographs, and I think it's really cool that the fans showed up too.
He is getting something out of it. This is an NIL partnership.
Yeah, but
but Trent, if you know Trent, he is a great kid. Yeah. So, it doesn't surprise me that he'd do something like this.
I'm just excited to see more of a local flavor with UK again. They've kind of become an endangered species in the in the Calipari area. Getting local guys, so it's nice to see local guys get at least the opportunity.
That brings us, guys, to the end of the show tonight. D&D Sports Network will have our first volleyball game of the season on as we head to Knott Central, Hyman, Kentucky, as Knott Central Patriots take on the Floyd Central Lady Jaguars. Excited for that, guys. Friday night football coming up. And, guys, we want to thank you again for joining us every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. here on the Startup Morning Show. We want to thank Punk's Tires and the crew for always sponsoring the Startup Morning Show. And for Bradley, Darryl, and JJ, we'll see you tomorrow morning. Until then, good day.